Man here. Y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing, man. So the question got to be asked, man. Is this the dude, man, for Keith One Time Thurman to establish himself and say he is the number one guy at welterweight? By him beating Sean Porter, is that strong enough for Keith Thurman to say he is the number one dude at welterweight and he deserves a fight with Floyd Mayweather? Let's not forget, ladies and gentlemen, that Keith One Time Thurman was the regular champion. Floyd Mayweather was the super champion. Floyd Mayweather never fought as mandatory in Keith One Time Thurman. So now that Keith One Time Thurman beat Sean Porter, whom before this fight, because it's going to be crazy how people going to change their tune now, but before this fight, people were saying the winner of this fight is the king of welterweight. And Danny Garcia, who owns the WBC belt, the green belt that everybody says is the coveted belt. Danny Garcia is the title holder for that title, and they're saying that he's the number one guy. So if Keith One Time Thurman now beats Sean Porter and he's established as the number one guy, does he get the fight with Floyd or does he get the fight with Danny Garcia? That is the question. And either way you look at it, he has to do it because, I mean, he beat Sean Porter. Sean Porter, I don't know if Danny Garcia beats Sean Porter, to be quite honest with you. I don't know if that fight, I don't know if Danny Garcia can beat Sean Porter, but I know Keith Thurman did. So does him beating Sean Porter establish him as the number one guy at welterweight, ladies and gentlemen? A lot of people criticize his resume, saying he didn't fight a credible fight since Diego Chavez. I even did that myself. You know what I mean? Leonard Bundu and Robert Guerrero and, those guys, man, it just wasn't the caliber of fighters that we can say that Keith One Time Thurman was the dude at welterweight. I even called for him to lose against Sean Porter. I'm hearing rumblings about people saying there was a possible draw in this fight, man. I'm sorry, man. I mean, Keith Thurman just edged out a couple extra rounds than Sean Porter. But there was some debatable rounds in this fight. I'm going to have to go back and watch this fight over and over again, man, as I said in my post-fight video. But, I mean, I'm telling y'all, man, I don't know, man. People going to say they're going to try to take that away from Keith One Time Thurman now and say, okay, this doesn't makes him the number one guy at welterweight. Well, I tell you one thing, Danny Garcia sure as hell ain't the number one dude at welterweight. And if he's not the number one dude at welterweight, hands down is Keith One Time Thurman or Kell Brook. Let's not forget Kell Brook. And that's gonna be funny. Because if Kell Brook beats Jesse Vargas and takes the title off Jesse Vargas, he'll be the only unified champion at welterweight. Does that set a stage between him and Keith Thurman? And how much clout? It's all gonna come down to A side and B side. What would that fight come down to? This is going to be get interesting at welterweight. Keith One Time Thurman beating Sean Porter at welterweight, ladies and gentlemen, really maneuvers a lot of things around because now you have three different champions, and you'll have, as of right now, actually you got four because I'm not going to count Jesse Vargas out. But you have four champions, and now if Jesse Vargas loses to Kell Brook, or if Kell Brook loses to Jesse Vargas, then you'll back have three champions, and they got to see each other. So this is going to be interesting. So is Keith One Time Thurman the number one dude at welterweight? That's the question, man. I think he is, man, right now. Because, well, if Kell Brook beats Jesse Vargas, nah, man. Kell Brook is the number one dude at welterweight. He'll be the only unified champion at welterweight, regardless of the criticisms of Kell Brook. I understand what people are going to say. Oh, he fought shit fighters, yada, yada, yada. He'll be the only unified champion at welterweight. And he beat Sean Porter, the same dude that we're placing Keith Thurman as the number one guy at welterweight of beating. Kell Brook already been there, done that. He gave Porter his first loss. And he's taking another title off Jesse Vargas. If Kell Brook beats Jesse Vargas, he's the number one welterweight, hands down. But as of tonight, Keith One Time Thurman, in a lot of people's minds, is the number one welterweight. Hats off to Al Heyman for putting this fight on CBS. Just like I told people, they postponed this fight just to change venues. It had nothing to do with no injuries and no car stuff. I mean, I know that's the storyline, and I can't prove it. But the fact still remains, I still believe it was all about venue and money, and they had to change it. Now they got more money. They put this thing on CBS. They got a bigger casino. They moved this thing to the Barclays. They moved it from the little, what was it, the Mohegan Sun or something like that. Some small venue they had it in at first. So, it worked out for the good. And I think this was a definitely step forward for the sport of boxing. And we need more fights of this caliber. So, good fight. I don't know, man. Uncle Al look good on this one, ladies and gentlemen. Say what you want to say. Criticize PBC. Say what you want. Uncle Al looks good in this particular fight and on this particular situation. I'm pleased. So I just wanted to say, so let me know in the comment section, y'all, man. Is Keith Thurman the number one dude at welterweight? And if not, then who is? Because Kell Brook is the only one that you're going to have to be able to say. Danny Garcia, not much. But he's in there with some sharks. And if Keith one time Thurman can take them punches, that body shot he took from Porter, that was a mean freaking body shot. That was even worse than the Collazo body shot. I don't care what nobody say. When y'all go back and watch that body shot was flush. It put Thurman on his back foot. But shit, man, what a body shot from Sean Porter. And he ate it and he recovered. He got on his bike, but he recovered. So I don't know, man. Keith one time Thurman, man, I mean, he just did everything right tonight. He withstood the storm. He didn't run. He didn't look cowardly in winning. And I liked what I seen tonight. I really did like what I seen tonight from Keith Thurman. So, is he the number one dude at welterweight? As of tonight, yes. As of tonight, yes. With Kell Brook with one title, I don't know. I mean, Kell Brook only beat one guy, and that was Sean Porter. That's the only guy he even beat. I'm not giving him the Carson Jones fight. I mean, that's not an elite fighter. The only person he beat of note was Sean Porter. Keith Thurman beat Sean Porter, and you can at least give him Diego Chavez, a fighter that's supposed to fought Kell Brook, but it didn't go down. So, as of tonight, ladies and gentlemen, Keith Thurman is the number one fighter at welterweight. I'm sorry, that's just how it is. And if Kell Brook beats Vargas, he's the number one fighter, in my opinion. To the next video, Main Man, Made Man. Don't forget to subscribe. Twitter, Made Man 511. Facebook, Main Man, Made Man. Boxer Forum, Google Plus, Main Man, Made Man. I don't know, man. That's just how I see it right now. But hats off, man. Good fight. Sean Porter is still going to give a lot of people problems at welterweight. Who else beats Sean Porter at welterweight? Okay, Keith Thurman beats him. Does Danny Garcia beat Sean Porter? I don't know. Can Danny Garcia take the onslaught of Sean Porter? And, hopefully this does nothing for Sean. Hopefully this doesn't damage Porter's confidence. Because I don't see a lot of other fighters beating Porter at welterweight as of today. A rematch with Kell Brook, a rematch with Thurman. They spoke about a rematch in the post-fight interview. I don't know. I don't think Thurman take this fight right away. This is Thurman's first fight in 11 months, ladies and gentlemen. So, how often would Sean Thurman take a fight of this caliber? I don't know. We'll see. To the next video. Peace out.